My name is Ashley Olayinka, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Hive Community Circle. I would say that participating in Launch Carolinas has helped me grow as a leader first by taking the opportunity and time to reassess my own leadership style. That was one of the first things that we did when we came together in our cohort. And it was really important because it helped me to take into consideration and understanding of how our leadership changes over time. And based on how our leadership changes over time, our style, it then impacts how we show up. It also impacts not just how we show up, but how we interact with those that we are leading, whether that's our board or our team members and even members of the community. And so it was really important for me to become conscious and aware of not just having a feeling or a thought, but actually being able to put a name to it. And then based on that leadership style, understanding what that meant about me. What are the pros of it, but also what are some of the challenges that come with that leadership style? So it first informed me as a leader. Then it informed how allowing me to look at how we were doing things, even on our board as we were in the process of board recruitment. And so it really informed me of what are some ways that we can improve that process so that we really build a strong board. And so being able to do a board assessment to ensure, again, that we knew exactly what the needs were and that that onboarding process was just as important. So those are some of those, I would say, very early on initial benefits from Launch Carolina. And this overall, I think the community also was essential to me and really, really important. Being able to know that I could lean to my strategic thought partner, which I love being able to have a funder that I could lean on at any point in time that I needed to. And then also being able to take some of the things such as our guardrails or our aha moments and our head, heart, and feet, which were exercises throughout the day that we were asked when we came together for convening. Those are things that I then took into the organization. So it was transferable skills, but also tools and just applications that I was able to implement in real time. So, a defining moment for me during my experience in Launch Carolina, I would have to say it was when our organization was going through a crisis. We were going through a financial crisis. We had just lost $500,000 and we had to raise $300,000 in 3 months. And by the time Launch Carolina's begun, I saw that that was not going to happen. I also was on sabbatical because I had recently lost my mother. My childhood home had burnt down, and it was also time for my sabbatical because I had been with the organization. We had existed for 10 years. And so while that sabbatical was important and necessary, I ended up having to take it early just as a result of the grief and everything that I was navigating personally in my life. But then also professionally, as a result of losing that $500,000, there were staffing changes that had to happen. And I ended up having to cut our budget in half. And so as a result of going through that financial crisis and also not raising the funds that were needed with the goal that we had set, I needed a plan. I needed to be able to know, okay, how do we move beyond this? How do I get these dollars in so that our doors are not closed? And so I leaned directly into the Launch Carolinas cohort. I leaned on Good Stock first. And when I informed them, they brought together, they encouraged me to email both the STPs and my peers, the other nonprofit leaders, and they stepped right up and they supported me. I was able to meet with a fellow alum from the ILOP program, the cohort before us, to be able to talk to one of the peers And she really helped me to be able to strategize and create a fundraising plan. And she told me, Norma Jean, she said, Ashley, if you do exactly what I'm telling you to do and you follow this, I guarantee you should see a turnaround. And I did exactly what she said. I also met with strategic thought partners, my funders who sponsored me to be in this program. And they also helped me to make some of those difficult decisions that I knew as a leader I had to make, but at the same time were very challenging and hard, right? Because we're human beings. And so as a result of that support that I was able to receive from the Launch Carolinas team, I was then able to not just close the gap on our fund for our goal, but I was able to exceed it. Instead of raising $300,000, we were able to raise $600,000, which allowed us to essentially close our budget gap for the entire fiscal year. That all happened because I leaned into my Launch Carolina community. And when I leaned in, they stepped up, they supported me, and they helped me along the way. The advice that I would give someone considering joining Launch Carolina is to first ensure that they are at a place where in their leadership journey, but more importantly, in their personal journey, where they are ready to be vulnerable and to show up as their true self, where they are ready to have hard conversations, where they are ready to dig deep in self-reflection and awareness and personal analysis. Because yes, Launch Carolinas is the opportunity to bring together leaders who are nonprofit leaders and strategic thought partners and funders, but it's also an opportunity for you first to develop yourself. We can't influence the work that we've been called to do or that we are committed or passionate about doing if we are first not willing to look at ourselves. And so that first recommendation would be make sure that you're ready to do the work personally. And then once making sure that you're ready to do the work personally, ask yourself now, are you ready to do the work professionally as a leader? Are you ready to make changes and have hard and difficult conversations? But are you also ready to be vulnerable and share your truth when it comes to challenges that you're experiencing in the field of philanthropy or in your organization or amongst your board members? Because those are the type of conversations that are had within Launch Carolina. Those are the sessions that oftentimes the topics that we're covering are centered around. And based on how vulnerable one is choosing to be will really determine the impact that Launch Carolina can have on you as a leader, and individually, as a person. And being able to just sit with, I think, that self accountability, right? To again make changes where changes need to be made, even if those changes are difficult. And knowing that you have a community of individuals who are surrounded around you that are willing to support you in doing that. So those would be my recommendations if someone is considering joining Launch Carolina, but it will definitely be life-changing, transformational if, again, you show up vulnerable, ready to learn, ready to be bold, courageous, and first ready to grow as an individual.